This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me, Travis with PlayerProps.ai, and this is what we're doing for the Tuesday games. Let's do a quick recap. I'm looking directly into the camera for a specific reason, because I know Tyrese Halliburton is watching the show, as he normally does. So, yeah. Tyrese Halliburton, first, did not score a field goal in the first half, which is the first time that's ever happened in his entire playoff career. But then, for those that watched the entire game, this man finished the second half still with 0 field goals scored. Now, granted, he was injured the entire time. He, tweaked his ankle, I think in game 2 or game 3, and then if you watch the entirety of the game, like I think the first time he was driving to the basket, he slipped and fell and kind of banged himself up again. I think it was an ankle injury or something related to his ankle. But still, this man, before the game started, had a little visit from the Monstars from Space Jam, and clearly they zapped his talents. Not only did he not make a field goal the entire game, but if you watched, he was afraid to shoot. Normally you would see him take certain shots, like even in the previous games of the series. This man was so terrified of missing another shot, he just kept passing the ball. But, I mean, he's somebody that can easily get like 15 assists a game. He's a good passer. But to see somebody in a game finals, game 5, which the winner of that only needs to win one more game to win the championship, and you're afraid to shoot? If you pay attention to Discord, which you should because it's free to join, and I'll say this on every single episode until I die, but you should be doing the free stuff, or you should be you have 2 options. You do the free stuff or you stop betting. It's the only 2 options you have. But anyway, the free Discord has a channel called the NBA ban list. Now, the MLB ban list, that one is specifically like, we don't go under strikeouts against this team, or we don't do this against like this team. But the NBA is very player specific, and it'll say, we just don't bet on props from this player because they're highly unpredictable. Guess whose name recently graced the NBA ban list? That's good. Yeah. You got it right. Tyrese freaking Halliburton. We are never touching that guy again. Injuries are understandable. But if you are playing in the game, you have told your coach that your injury is not that bad, and then you're afraid to shoot. You can't put your hard-earned money on people that are afraid to shoot. Never again. For the foreseeable future, no matter what team he gets traded to, or what team he's playing on, or what his teammates are doing, Tyrese Halliburton will never be on our show again. Never, ever. Also, new news. Our first shipment of our PlayerProps.ai swag just came in. This is the blue hat out of the many hats that's on there. It just says, PlayerProps.ai. And then this one as well. It's the same thing, just the pink version. There's a lot of different hats. There's a lot of shirts. There's hoodies. I added some stickers, some beanies. You know that I always say apply yourself. So I did a coffee mug that has the PlayerProps.ai text logo with apply yourself underneath it, because typically coffee is a morning thing. I want you to get your day started off great by remembering to apply yourself, not just with sports betting, not just with PlayerProps.ai, but with everything you do in life. If you want to get any of the swag whatsoever, I priced it where I don't make like any profit on this stuff. It's just if you want to promote the brand when you're outside of your house, or even if you don't leave your house and you just want to wear a PlayerProps.ai shirt because we've helped you win an insane amount of money so far, just go to PlayerProps.ai/swag, and that's where you go to our merch shop, PlayerProps.ai/swag. And speaking of PlayerProps.ai/things, PlayerProps.ai/giveaway. If you have not entered the free $5,000 giveaway, you aren't serious about winning money. If you're watching the show like, I wish he could find something today that'll help me win more money, it starts with a giveaway. If you can't do a free-to-enter giveaway that pays $5,000 in cash and prizes, then it doesn't matter what I say on the show. It's not going to work out for you. Do the free stuff. You either stop betting because you realize you don't care about money enough, because you have to care about money a certain amount to try your best and to apply yourself, as I just mentioned. to put yourself in the best possible outcome. And if you can't do it $5,000 free to join giveaway, that's everybody's on equal playing field, like the people that are premium subscribers and people that aren't premium subscribers, same playing field. There's no bonuses to be premium for this particular giveaway. It's just literally entering the giveaway. But yeah, if $5,000 cash and prizes giveaway does not interest you, that should tell you you should stop betting, because you need to be interested in money. Free opportunities to have more money at the end of the day, what you started with, to be able to take betting as seriously as you need to have fun. By have fun, I mean win more and lose less. So that being said, we got some MLB games today. Today is Tuesday, and I think so I wasn't sure if the NHL game was today or tomorrow. But yeah, so we have NHL today, and if Florida wins, they win the Stanley Cup Finals. So they have a 3-2 lead. Same thing with NBA, next NBA game. If Oklahoma City wins, they win the NBA Finals. We have WNBA games today. Looks like there's a decent slate for that. And then we have a good handful of MLB games as well. For WNBA, Jonquel Jones is back for the Liberty. They have not lost a single game this season when they've had all of their starters playing. They technically have a loss in the record, but Jonquel Jones, which is one of the best centers in the entire league, was out with injury, and she's finally back. So that's something to look at. But I'm going to go right now. There's a pretty decent slate here for MLB. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if there's any trifectas that look good for strikeouts. And if there's not, instead of going to another MLB stat, we're going to do WNBA. So right off the rip, there are 4 players that meet the requirements from the minimum line of 3 and the minimum difference of 17. Let's see what we want to do next here. So there are, quickly just scanning through the percentage differences, there's 3 overplays and 1 underplay. So now let's see which ones are actually trifectas before we look into advanced data or more information. Brandon, which I always love saying this name incorrectly on purpose, PFAT. I think it's like fat, like a pft. Actually, I don't really know how to say this name, but PFAT sounds funnier. He is a true trifecta because he's 3.5, which means his line is, or the projection is 1.25 higher, and it needs to be 1.0, so that checks that box. And the sports books are also favoring the over with the minus 165 odds. Chris Bassett is another true trifecta, 4.5 line. His projection is at least 1.0 higher. It's 1.1 at 5.6. And the sportsbooks are favoring the over by giving the over a minus 130 odds, which is the same thing as saying a 56.52 implied chance. We go down one more to JP Sears. Projection is over, but the AI is favoring the under because the over is at plus 105. So he's not a trifecta. And then going here to the only underplay. This is not a trifecta, because the AI is saying he's going to go under, but the odds are saying he's going to go over. Because if it's plus 125 on the under, it's minus 160 here on the over. So the sportsbooks are favoring the over, which makes sense because Colorado is not just the worst team in baseball, but they strike out more than anybody. If you've paid attention to anything the last 7 days of baseball, the Atlanta Braves starters set like career best records on strikeouts. I think I said this yesterday. Spencer Strider had like 15, and the guy after him the next day had like 18 against Colorado. So they are far and away the most strikeouty team in the last 3 games. Am I going to say that Michael Soroka is not going to be able to get 6 strikeouts against the worst strikeout team we probably have ever seen in the history of the world? We're not touching that, which is why the sportsbooks are also favoring the over. And there's also a role we have in the MLB ban list. Guess where that's at? The free Discord that you should be in by now. But the MLB ban list says we don't go under K props anyway against Colorado. So there are only 2 trifectas here. We have Chris Bassett and Brandon PFAT. Without clicking anything, some things of note. If you look at the season, which that's what SZN stands for, and if you don't know what things stand for or what to be looking at, for the love of all that's holy, click the button at the top that says click to learn. I put that button up there not for my personal benefit, but for yours. It says click to learn on desktop. It says tap to learn on mobile. Tap that. It will teach you what to pay attention to and what to look for. If you are assuming you know what to look for and you know how to use this tool, I'm going to guess that you're not doing it correctly. Please click this, do the due diligence, take things a little bit more seriously, try to win some more money, try to lose a little bit less money, click the gosh dang button. But some things to pay attention to. What's interesting is Chris Bassett has covered this line this season 71% of the time in his starts, while Brandon Pfaadt only has it 64%. Chris Bassett's also done this in 60% of the last 5 games, and it says 100% head-to-head. Arizona is a very interesting team. Arizona, over the course of the entire season, is not really a strikeout-friendly team. They are near the bottom, 24th in strikeouts. But in the last 3 games, they've clearly got something in their eyes, maybe some dust, where they're swinging and whiffing because they are 4th overall in the most strikeouts in the last 3. We already talked about how Colorado is definitely number 1, but it's very interesting to see a team from the bottom of the barrel in strikeouts, most recently, swing and miss pretty often. The head-to-head 100% is also interesting. Let me see what games those were. So it looks like there are 2 times he versed Arizona last season, 5 Ks in 6 innings, 6 Ks in 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 1 earned run. And then the season before that, which was the 2023 season, on June 8th, 6 Ks, 7 innings, 2 earned runs. So he's versed these 3 times in the last 2 seasons, this Arizona team. I mean, not the exact Arizona team because rosters are always changing. But the last 5, in his last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 4 runs, only got 3 Ks against St. Louis, 89 pitch count, 99, 82, 82, 100. So the team's he's a pretty decent starter for Toronto. He's had a pretty okay season, and they're allowing him to get into the hundreds, which is something we like to look for. If you remember, another rule, what do we else like to look for? We like to look for that they're verse righties and verse lefty splits for strikeout props. This number here is at least 20% higher on both sides. He's striking out righties at 22.4%, striking out lefties at 22.7%. Checks the box for that. What else? I mean, this is... His strikeout rate versus righties and lefties is almost identical, so it doesn't really matter to me what that projected lineup looks like. And if we look at the Arizona, I mean, lefty, switch, lefty, right, left, right, left. So they have what, 1, 2, 3 true righties, 1, 2, 3, 4 true lefties, and 2 switch hitters. But I don't know what side of the plate they're going to hit from when he's striking out the same side. I mean, we could look at average allowed. It looks like the lefties are getting a pretty decent hit average against them, 0.293, and it's a lot, I wouldn't say, a good chunk less against righties. So maybe they'll hit lefty, the switch hitters, because even though he's striking them out at 22.7%, they are doing a decent decent batting average against them. Yeah, it seems like all the numbers are inflated versus lefties, but the strikeout rate's almost identical to the same side. So I'm not too worried about that. Let's see here. Is there anything to say to get us away from doing this? So something to note, which is something I look for with strikeout stuff, is you see, we're looking at the last 10 games here. He's consistent in the sense where, I mean, he's consistently pumping out 6 strikeout games with a line of 4.5. But, I mean, if we go to beginning of the season, he had 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 7, 8 at the end of last season. So, I mean, up until the very beginning of the season, which was around April 16th with this Atlanta game, I mean, he's a pretty decent strikeout pitcher. But after April 16th, he hasn't gotten more than 6, which, I mean, that's not... He's consistently going over the line, which is good. But I also really like if he had a lot of 9s and 10s this season, I mean, he has a 10th this season, a 9th this season, but I mean, if it was a lot more higher spikes, I really like to look for that, because, like, okay, like, when they get heated and they're on, like, a tear, Like they can go for 10 strikeouts. So the fact that these are all 6 doesn't scare me. But just something I like to note: if you see someone that has a lot of these spikes in their recent games, and you're looking at overplay, that's something to pay attention to. But yeah, I think. So why are we looking at Chris and not the other one? Well, if we looked at the other one, which was Brandon Pfat, looks like another name just popped up here for the Minnesota pitcher, but he's not a trifecta because his projection is not 1.0 difference. We don't even need to pay attention to him. But yeah, so he's versing the team who is the least strikeoutiest team over the course of the entire season. Bare bottom of the barrel, 30 out of 30 teams. They've struck out a little bit more recently. His line started at 4.5. It's down to 3.5, which if it was a 4.5, he's not a trifecta, but at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, it dropped to 3.5. If you look at this stuff here, not 20%. He's not 20% on either side. And he's versing a team that just doesn't strike out. And he doesn't have crazy spikes either, as I mentioned. So, I mean, last season, he had a 12K game against Milwaukee. He had a 9K game against San Diego, 10K against LA Dodgers. But this season, he has not gone more than 6 the entirety of the season. Granted, his line's only 3.5 because he's not a strikeout pitcher. If you're betting on a strikeout pitcher to go over, you need to see spikes, and you need to see, I don't know. It's just, there's no reason to force this play against Toronto. I don't know if that's on the ban list, but it might be on the ban list because Toronto just doesn't strike out. Arizona technically doesn't strike out, but you see here they're 4th in the last 3. And if you want more data on that, go to Team Trends on the player prop side of things and sort by last 3. So Colorado has averaged 14 strikeouts over the last 3 games. Absolute worst. They're a trash can. You see Arizona, they're 24th on the season, so they've averaged 7.77 strikeouts. But their last game, they struck out 14 times. The last 3 games, they've averaged 11.67. Not too far away from 3rd place, not that far away from 2nd place. A little chunk away from the horrible Colorado Rockies 1st place, though. It's just pretty interesting. So, I think Christopher is who we're going to be looking at. Let's see if we can find his line lower than Oh, it's funny that both of these guys on the same game. I don't know if my brain clicked on that originally, but no, looks like every single book has the same line. If you have the option of all these books, you want to do Bet Rivers because they pay you the most when you win, and that's a focus you should have. Not just how do I find the most likely win based on the best line, but how do I find the book that pays me the most when I'm correct? You should always focus on the book that pays you the most when you are correct. That is how to focus on increasing your bankroll. Why are you taking less money for being right? Being right is not the easiest thing to do. That's why 99% of bettors are not winning bettors. Being right is not easy. So when you are right, you want to get paid as much profit as possible. Ladies and gents, that's going to wrap up the show here. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Tonight, remember, we have our sports trivia show. So at 8 p.m. Eastern time, this YouTube channel will be live. You just tap on the live show, and then in the chat is where you answer the trivia questions. Whoever answers first gets a point, and it's just a short little fun 30-minute show that we do. And we give away prizes for people that are in the top finishing the top 2 points. You just got to make sure you got quick fingers to type in that answer as quickly as possible. But it's a fun thing we do. It's only 30 minutes long, and it's Sports Trivia Tuesdays tonight at 8. So what's on your to-do list right now, besides locking in the play of the day? It's to make sure that you've done the bare minimum. I know that there are thousands of people that watch the show and have not done the bare minimum, not even once. And they're like, man, I wish I could be better at betting, or I wish I could win more money betting, or simply just wish I could lose less money betting. I will tell you, it is not rocket science. It may seem pretty difficult, or it may seem easy. I don't know. You can look at it either way, glass half full, glass half empty. But if you're not doing the bare minimum, which again is the free stuff, please stop betting, because you aren't going to be successful until you have that until you have the right desire to be more successful, and to show yourself, do I have that desire to be more successful? Will I actually try hard enough? Are you doing all the stuff available to you for free that we've given you? The free $5,000 giveaway, the free version of the app, the free Discord, subscribing to the free YouTube channel. If you haven't done all those things, you aren't trying hard enough and you should not be betting. Save your money. Focus on changing your mindset. Once you're ready to dig in and apply yourself and do the free things, then and only then should you return to betting. Do not bet if you can't take this stuff a little bit more seriously than you are currently. Oh, and then also, which you'll probably see in the Discord, and I'll blast it everywhere on social media as well, the spread predictor, to my knowledge, I'm going to go back and review things. Still printing money. Went perfect yesterday, so everybody won hundreds of dollars, depending on their bankroll size, but I'm going to go back and you're going to see it on social media in the Discord. But yeah, spread predictor is still printing money. If you have not signed up for or upgraded your account to get full access to the spread predictor and you're in a state that allows betting on spreads, you've lost about $6,000 at least this season alone for MLB by staying on the sidelines and watching everybody else win $6,000 this season. At least $6,000. I mean, if you have a higher bankroll, you're probably up like $20K at this point off of the spread predictor. But I'll stop rambling. Good luck, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.